Van right here with 3D Politics. I've got two of the most amazing Davids right here in Oklahoma. I'm Tom McCay, your fantastic host with 3D Politics. I've got David Van with SoonerPolitics.org, David Oldham, ConstitutionalGrounds.com, and you can catch me on Twitter at Tom E. McCay. Now, we've got a bunch of stories tonight, but I want to start off with a gal that really triggered me this last week, Danielle Weisberg. She really got me good. Her Twitter feed said, "It's my right," she says, "as an American, to go bankrupt when I get sick." Her sarcasm, of course, is just dripping. "I deserve lifelong debt for going to college. Every day is an anniversary of a school shooting." You know, it's too bad she didn't just say mom right there. And then $7.25 an hour is plenty. Thank you. Freedom, baby, USA. Well, me being a patriot, I was triggered. So I just jumped on this thing. It happened to be promoted by a thing called the SH1T Abyss. So I said, well, in response to each one of her sarcastic remarks, you don't get your rights as an American. You get your rights from God. Bankruptcy is a protection by the U.S. government to incentivize capital investment that provides opportunity for people to hire employees. When you get sick, the emergency room cannot turn you away in America because it's the protection by the U.S. government. You deserve the lifelong opportunity to risk debt for personal financial gain. And you're lucky to live in the USA, where you have the opportunity to be educated at a college of higher learning after being provided a free, prepaid public education, if you call it that, from the U.S. government. Every anniversary of any school shooting is proof that the forced indoctrination of socialism through LBJ's Great Society has been a colossal and deadly failure. And I gotta say, as I pause right there, that's the one place that they didn't really even, all it was WEF. WTF, they really had no idea. They knew that God didn't exist, but they didn't know who LBJ was. Further, so failure due to the part. So again, the failure of the LBJ Great Society was a failure due to the departure from the original government and constitutional principles. Here's the best, my favorite line of all that I said, because this was really good. $7.25 an hour is plenty if you're only worth $5 an hour. That's you're making true. You're free as an American to bargain for any wage you can command. Start your own company so you can be free to pay everybody more. As an American woman, you're free to demand 20% more than a man makes. And welcome to Freedom, baby, USA, where women are more free than men. Now there's a bait line for you.
Yeah.
Gentlemen,
on your last point, I work my butt off every day. Guess who gets to stay home? Love you, honey. Thank you. Just make me a warm meal when I come home.
Right? Yeah, it's teamwork. Either way.
It is. It is a team. Yes. Yeah. Yes, it is. I wanted to bite on this bankruptcy. She's talking about her student loans, and why can't she just pull this bankruptcy lever and be free of the student loan debt? What do you think on the student loans, Oldham?
Well, I mean, a number of things. First off, you owe your debts. Don't get into debt if you don't want to be in debt. If you don't want to pay them back.
Oh, thanks, Dad.
But, Oldham, I'm going to ask you the tough question. Is bankruptcy a constitutional right?
Well, it's not a right at all. It's not a right. No, it's not a right. But I'm trying to remember if it is actually in the
Constitution. It absolutely is in the Constitution.
It is in the Constitution, but it is not a right. It is because you owe what you owe. If you don't get into debt, if you're not...
You don't have the right to go bankrupt. I mean, you can legally go bankrupt. That is you pursuing your happiness.
No one. Well, who are you not harming the lender in that particular case? Of course you are.
Not legally. Not legally.
No, wait a minute. we're not talking about legally. We're talking about morally, because all rights ultimately.
We're jumping to moral.
No. You are harming somebody else.
That's true.
So you are.
And they knew that when they wrote it in the Constitution.
Yes, they did.
Okay.
Now, mind you, because it's in there, it now is law.
It's constitutional law.
It's constitutional, so it's part of our law. It's nothing that we will change without amending the Constitution.
Okay, now what's happened here in the last 30 years, because, they say, well, the fact that it's in the Constitution doesn't mean that the Congress can't regulate it. And what they've done is they said, federally guaranteed student loan debt cannot be wiped out. And that was a federal law they made that says, no, you still have to pay. You cannot file bankruptcy to get relief from student loan debt. Was that constitutional what the Congress did to negate your bankruptcy options?
Way to go, Danielle. You really opened up a can of worms.
These are questions I haven't considered at length, so I'd have to stop and think about it.
So we got you then.
We don't have. I don't have every answer.
I didn't mention this in show prep tonight.
I could have had an answer maybe if I had 5 minutes.
It is so hard to pull a zinger on you that I have to pull these.
To go out and trap the boy,
He's good, guys. He's really good.
All right,
but the thing is that no matter what you do, when you get away with not paying your debt that you have taken out voluntarily, then that is theft, and
morally.
Well, it is a theft. It is
but
factually a theft. You are borrowed the money.
Morally, it's not. It's morally.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. So factually, morally, those are synonymous.
Okay.
No, they are. The thing is, can you get away with it in this life? I don't believe anybody gets away with anything.
Right.
And so you may get away with it in this life, but ultimately you don't.
Yeah.
But the point is, factually, it is a form of theft. So the question is, how much are you going to be stealing from your neighbors and so forth, and the lenders, whatever lender.
Because you do reap what you sow, and nothing they write in the Constitution can negate God's natural law of reaping and sowing, or karma bites.
Right.
Yeah. So
well, it'll seem like we're flogging this to death, but actually, the other half of this discussion with Danielle is their response to me, and to tie it in, Josh Turley. He had a post earlier in the week that I responded to today that talking about, I'm not going to argue with people who can't understand what I'm saying,
right?
Because they don't have the mental capability, and I'm like, actually, that is how the propagandists win the argument, is they continue to repeat the lie over and over and over, and people with honor and integrity like Josh say, look, I'm not going to just argue with you and keep repeating. Well, then the lie continues to reverberate. Now, this is why I contend with these people on the Facebook, because these are you've heard of ancient aliens. These are millennial aliens. They're from another planet. Now, here is this guy who responds to me, and finally, after each one of them only said, okay, boomer, was their only response. I gave him a 14-point response to Danielle Weisberg's thing.
Let's explain. Now, this isn't Josh Turley, is it? That's your
This is not Josh Turley.
Okay, but by the way, because you bring it up, Josh Turley works at the county sheriff's office in the jail risk management guy. He's also been a candidate for a county commissioner.
He's a great guy. In fact, I supported him hard, and he's this guy is sharp.
Yeah.
Okay. But it's fine people like him who don't want to get in the mud. See, for me, it's no problem. I'll get in the mud.
And his hands are tied, too.
And just to be fair, there is a time that you stop contending with somebody.
That's true.
There is a time when you are flogging that dead horse.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
There is nothing that you are going to be able to do there. There's no one watching. There's no one else to benefit from the conversation.
Now,
And that's me. I do that all the time.
In the old days, when you would have a discussion with somebody where you're trying to convince them of something, your words were in the ether and they would go up and go away. But as we know on the internet, anything you type is there forever.
Right.
And so now contending with these morons is good because they'll go back. People in the future will be able to go back and mine the things that you've said and translate it like the Greeks did the gospel.
Yeah.
So my point is, here is what we're up against. If you're a thinking person that loves freedom, here is what now almost every person, this is a group of about 952 gamers that this post I kind of got triggered into responding to. So they all came at me, and nearly every one of them said, "Okay, boomer," which was their best response. That means I'm a baby boomer.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Gotcha.
a baby boomer.
Gotcha.
That's the new insult for the aged. You're a boomer, which is funny because I'm so young. The true baby boomer said, "You're not. You're not.
Yeah,
one
you're
of
not
us."
even a baby boomer.
That's what they told me. But the kids today, the millennial aliens, they are telling me I am a boomer. But one guy here actually responded point for point. So here's the best they got out of 952 left-handed gamers. This guy responds to me on the SH1T Abyss. He says, false to me about all my 14 points. First one, false. Government regulates our rights. God doesn't exist. Boomer F-wit. That's how it starts. Bankruptcy ruins people for life. My family had to file bankruptcy. Now our credit is S for the rest of our lives.
No, it's not. It disappears.
I'm just telling you what the child said. Yeah. When you get sick, you can't be turned away. He's going point blank.
Oh, and he's so much younger, which means he knows more than us boomers.
I gotta give him credit. He went point by point. Okay.
Yeah.
When you get sick, you can't be turned away. No shit, retard. That isn't the argument. The argument is that going to the hospital leads to your previous stupid talking point, bankruptcy. If you are in debt, there is no personal financial gain, you effing retard. Now that's in response to me saying if you want to borrow money, you're free to borrow money to go to college, and then you can reap the benefit of your investment. He's saying if you're in debt, there is no personal financial gain, you effing retard.
Well, and this is what bothers me. Growing up in a family of 11, my folks always set aside for medical. Whether we had insurance or not, you always had to budget that medical needs are going to come up. What does he say? You got to go to the hospital, it's bankruptcy.
Yeah.
Well, that means you don't want to budget. You'd rather get a new gaming console. You know? And so there's our problem right there. You know, they think we got that problem. The bankruptcy thing, first of all, as soon as you file bankruptcy, you'll get a lot of credit card offers. You know why? Because you can't file bankruptcy again for 8 more years.
It's true. I know a guy went bankrupt and he got tons of
Exactly. You know, and then it disappears after 10 years completely.
Yeah.
He says for life. Well, to a baby boom, to a Gen Xer.
He's a millennial.
A millennial. It's the same thing. 10 years.
Right. So his response to me about the education that we have here in America, most first world countries have secondary educations, retard. All first world countries have free public education, retard. And just as an aside, you've heard about the Disney movies, and they've had to put out a little disclaimer about some of the crows are black. And
you mean now they're having to put
they're re-releasing. And, you know, this guy here, he's reminding me why I'm offended by that whole elephant movie. The whole title's called Dumbo. I mean, they couldn't have told me to look out to be offended. This guy knows I'm a retard.
Well,